Evening, folks. Spider-Man here, broadcasting a secret location. Guess where? No, not on the toilet. That's disgusting, okay? The toilet's right here, okay? Fuck you. But don't light a match. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm working on this damn video. You know what I like with Bracky's videos? They're very good, but however, they always are too perfect. They never have any fucking problems, okay? And every fucking problem, they do everything that works perfectly. They never have to crunch any errors. I had to crunch a million errors when I was doing this project. Just to get needed to shoot stuff. Basically, she runs around, she senses if enemies close by, just shoot stuff, okay? And it took about 10 tries. Because there's other things that like factor in, like spelling errors. Spelling errors can be a factor besides just syntax errors. So, don't look, this is my toilet paper. Stop looking. That man's playing Galaga. I didn't notice. Anyway, so yes, little things can happen. And why is this fucking mask riding up to the fucking I can't fucking see? Fuck this mask. Fuck it, okay? Trying to blind me or something. Pull down all the fucking ways I can fucking see. Imagine trying to fight with this on. I'll get my ass kicked. Every minute the damn lens is trying to ride up to the point where it goes over my eye so I can't fucking see. Okay, not cool. This is the most impractical fighting costume I've ever fucking seen, okay? It's not good. You would have to have literal smarter sense to be able to fight because you're blind half the time. Now, I got it working, right? So here's the intro from the toilet, live from the bathroom. Cut the video tape. When your left hand's free and your right's in a grip, and your other left hand, your toes and slips. Thought is gone. Whoa. Next. Okay, I'm trying to get Rio into this 70-man battle. He's looking weird right now because I have to texture it myself. These fucking people, shut up. Anyway, you motherfucker. Yeah, he looks weird, okay, because I have to texture it myself. Even though I have a technique when I import something from Blender, usually he comes out all gray, right? I have no texture as a character, so I put the character in Blender, right? And then when you put it in Blender with all the textures, Blender just automatically texture maps everything and shader maps, puts all the shaders and everything on the character. And you save it in Blender and then bring it here to Unity, and usually it's all rendered. That's how I got Rio, Akira, Vanessa, and all those characters. Not Vanessa I had to do manually, but that's how I got most of the Final Showdown characters. You can get them textured that way with Blender. But this motherfucker didn't work. I put him in Blender. He's completely textured in Blender. I saved it that way and brought back all the files and put it in a separate folder. And usually that works, okay? I have a folder here saying, Ryo Hazuki's Shenmue. Usually that fucking works and he's completely rendered. But it's not fucking working. So I had to freaking render him my goddamn self. I got it anyway, so it's a weird process because he works differently and they organize everything all fucked up. If you look at his assets are not organized like normal people's. Well, usually, right, the textures and the shaders are put in separate places. The shaders are usually in a folder called materials, and textures are self-explanatory and just there. This shit is all fucked up and mixed up, and he has a million textures here, so I don't know what's going on. And some of those textures are not even his. Those, I can tell that's like Sarah Ryan's textures mixed in here for some reason, or Nina Williams. Yeah, those are Nina Williams. It shouldn't. Oh, this is an assets. I moved out of the folder because I was gonna show you where the folder was. The folder's up here. Ryo Hazuki. Here, that's Ryo Hazuki. See, it says Shenmue 3, so that's the Shenmue 3 version. I have the one from Sega All-Stars Racing. I was gonna use that if I couldn't get this textured right. I was gonna use that as an alternate, but now I don't have to. I just make it an option, and you can play the old school Rio. I can make it the old school Rio skin and use the Sega whatever, the Sega whatever they call it, Battle Stars Racing. I need to get that game. I don't know why I didn't get it. I'm not being a true Sega fan. Anyways, as you can see, everything's fucked up and everything's all
in everything's in a folder. Everything's like all in one folder and not organized. There's one thing for materials, but what the fuck is this? It's so weird. I mean, they're not clearly labeled, and that in and of itself doesn't, like render his skin, because technically, right, if I put the texture of his skin, that's a material, the materials of his skin with his shaders and everything, he's supposed to have his goddamn skin on. And you can kind of skip putting the textures on. The textures are for low res. And you can just skip that part and just put the shaders that, tell his skin color and everything and the lighting. You put those on and he's rendered. But that shit doesn't work on this motherfucker. So hence you have Blue Man Group Rio right here. But I think I cracked it though. I think I cracked it. Anyway. So anyway, yeah. And he's textured. He has his full, his full animation tree set up already. What the fuck if you're eating? In a park bench somewhere. Anyway. The shitty ass bagel and your shitty ass goddamn half a piece of toast. That's not his. It's not his animation. That's Prince's animation tree. Fuck you. Make me lose my shit. You know what? It's not assigned. I didn't assign it yet. But anyway, I made it, but I didn't assign it. It's just in this folder. But why the fuck is it on Chris? Even, I sure as fuck didn't highlight the Chris. What you call it? I don't know where the fuck you came from. You go right back. In pieces. Yeah, this is his animation tree. So anyway, just gotta render all that up. Yeah, I'm sure he'll work. I was gonna test it out. So far, he hasn't moved, but he's set up right. It may take some tweaking because some characters take longer than others. I mean, Zafina, it took 2 months to get her animated because she just wouldn't move. No matter what I did, I had to keep working on it, flipping and bouncing it, and changing the settings. So finally, I got an animation to actually click and apply to her. So here we go. That's where we are right now with the Rio 70-man battle reboot. And there's always an alternate. I can always use Sega All-Stars Racing Rio. He'd probably be easier to animate. I can take the same animation tree and apply it to him and get it running. And that would probably work better than Shenmue 3 Rio, because that was a, Yu Suzuki project that he made on Unreal Engine. This is Unity Engine. I don't know if there's any discrepancies or any scripts he has attached to that skin to make it harder to work with Unity. Because in reality, it was made to work with, he made it put some text, some scripts attached to the skin or whatever to make it hard to work. That's why some game characters are harder to work than others. Like Tekken characters are harder to animate than Virtua Fighter characters. So I don't know what a Shenmue 3 character is going to work, because that was an independent game made by a small team, so we'll see how it works. Okay, Rio's in, he's animated, no problem. I really need a new computer, I need a new laptop. I want to get an i8. I'm not fucking around. I want to be like future-proof. That's what Sony does, they make everything to last 10 years. So the next computer will be an i8. I'm looking for an i8 laptop. Not a Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard is shit. This computer has barely worked since that day I had it. I mean, that Wi-Fi is super, super spotty. it won't connect, it disconnects, and it's like it needs drivers or something. It was just fucked up from jump, so I'm not using this shit. That's besides the point. Well, he animates. I don't know why this is running so slowly. I'm gonna turn off Nina Williams because Nina Williams can't even animate right now. I gotta take her back to Blender and give her a skeleton, a new skeleton, and then maybe I can animate Nina Williams. Here's the thing. So that's why this is running like 1 frame per second, and it wasn't running goddamn 10 frames per second when I had it from a camera that's a fixed angle. From a fixed angle, that's like 4 fixed cameras set up around here, but they were too distant. And it was fucked up anyway. So now I have it. It's too distant basically. So when the Rio was like a little army figure, that's how small he was. Now it's close up on him. I put a follow cam on him, a third person follow cam, so it's closer, right? So it looks way better, but it's running super slow. All right, so you take what you can get. This doesn't have this problem on other levels. They're more simple geometry. We'll see how it works on a faster computer. It'll probably work a lot better. All right, so this is where we are. And the good news about this is that Rio is animated. Rio Hazuki, I just finished texturing him, applying the shaders, which sucks. I have to do it manually, but whatever. And Rio's completely animated because you can see that's Rio now when we're in non-play state. When you add a play state to it, he starts, he goes into his idle animation, which means his animations are kicking in. And being able to put the textures on my fucking self, the funny thing is, look at Rio. His thing's on backwards. His jacket's on backwards, basically. The texture's on backwards. So the emblem's on the front, and the emblem's on the back, and the tiger's on the front. And that weird emblem with the 3 triangles, that's on his back, and the damn tiger's on his front, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna leave him like this too, just to be ironic. Anyway, so if I press play, right, I'm pressing play, you can see Rio start to move. He goes into his idle animation, which is good. Driver, see, he moves, his arms went down. That means he's an idle. And now I become a nav mesh agent. And some attack AI. I'm gonna take the attack AI I wrote for Ellie and apply it to Rio. And there you go. This is Rio's first animation. This is history in the making. His jacket's on backwards because they made me put the textures on myself. Now he's got that 3 triangle emblem on his chest, the back, and the fucking tiger's on his chest because they made me texture it myself. Blender auto textures him, man. When you put him in Blender, he gets auto textured, and when you save it like that, you would think it would stay like that when you go to Unity, but no, I have to do it myself because of reasons. Well, look, man, the game was made on Kickstarter, okay? What do you expect? So this is a Rio from SHENMUE 3, okay? And this is corkscrew animation. This is death animation. When he hits 30 times, see when his hit count here? When it hits 35 times, he's gonna die, okay? He's dead meat. So that's the trick, that's the condition. And, gets his butt kicked, basically. If it's a 70-man battle, if you get hit by half the guys, yeah, you're gonna die. All right, and you got to set it to have exit time, so it's a time when he exits the animation. You have to have that, or it won't work. When Bracky's made his video, he said when you make an animation, you're supposed to not have exit time. Wrong. If you don't have exit time, it can't even work. You have to have a animation that can switch from any other state. You can't have it just come from one state or work in one order. It has to work from any state. And when you set it to work for any state, it has to have exit time. That's a must, or it won't work, period. And you'll get an error message on the screen. So I don't know what happened when Brackies when he was making games. What was that, 4 years ago? He hasn't made a video in 4 years because he quit. So anyway, that's the state of it. So yeah, it does have to have, It does have to have goddamn exit time. Just so you know, there's several things I'm gonna put a video on of a compilation of things that they don't tell you about making games in Unity that you need to know. That's one of several. Okay, that's like one of top 10 things they don't tell you about making games in Unity, just to make it easier for the next wave of guys to start making indie games. All right, and that's it. Or you just watch Rio die a million times if you want. I don't know. He's zoomed out. I can fine tune the textures. I don't know if he has the karate pants on backwards or whatever's going on here, but yeah, that's how it looks when he's close up. Somebody shot a hole in his jacket. Okay. Yeah. Well, Rio's gonna have a throw by my hand. I already have a throw animation set up, an algorithm set up for a throw, coordinating between two characters for them to throw each other. For a wolf. Now I'm going to take that and transplant it over here to Rio, and he already has. See that? Takedown A, takedown B. Those are the animations for him to be taken down and for him to take down somebody else. And a takedown is a two-leg takedown, which is a throw. Okay, that constitutes a throw. You grabbing somebody and knocking them to the ground constitutes a throw in my book. And that's what that is. See, takedown A, takedown B. Takedown A is when he two legs takes down somebody, and takedown B is when he's getting two-leg takedown. And it's already set up, and I got it working on Wolf. I'm just going to transplant it here to old Rio. And there you go. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you know, I set up Rio to do two-leg takedowns. That's him in action doing his two-leg takedown move. I don't know if I can rotate this. I don't think I can. No, I can't rotate it. It has to look from this angle. But yeah, he does a two-leg takedown and beats the shit out of people. And that's a throw, which wasn't in Shenmue 3. I couldn't believe I played all through it, end of the game, and there's not one throw in the game. Because you thought when you learned the back check, the body check counts as a throw, okay? The reverse body check. But you can't do it in real time, because screw me, right? Why would I want to do it in real time? I'll pay $70 for this game, waited 4 years for you to finish it. You couldn't put one fucking throw in the game. And he takes a little time to learn it, and he can only do it in a goddamn, you know, he can only do it in a, what do you call it, in a cinema. It's not a cinema, it's a freaking, it's one of the stupid quick timer event. So you can only quick timer event, do a throw. Come on, man. Anyway, obviously you know it's a throw. You had to pay a whole bunch of money to learn it. You had to pay over 9,000 yuan to buy the move. And then they'll let you do it in the game. Not even the end game, like in the end battle when you're running, the racing thing, the battle rally. Come on, man, let me do the fucking throw. All right, so I'll say for Yukazuki, at least he put something there. He didn't put 70-man battle back, but he gave us the battle rally. I like the battle rally. This is my version of the throw because, you know, good reasons. Because, you know, I'm using a lot of animations from Miximo. So I found something the closest approximation to a body check. I'm gonna use that. I'm just gonna try to speed this up so it looks faster and like it has more impact. But this is his body check. Huh, see? Huh. Let's speed that up fast enough. It looks like he's shoulder ramming somebody, okay? So that's what's going on here. That's how it's going down. I was gonna have a ton of force to it, so it knocks somebody flying. There you go. All right, peace. Go to out, peace. Go to out, peace. Peace in the Middle East. Peace in Russia. Anyway, so this is take 2. Yeah, Rio. I did texture mapping myself, which was good because the texture maps they had prefab that came with this, they were fucked up anyway. The guy who made this, who released this, he released it with a texture map with Rio's faces all bruised up, and I don't know what the hell was that about. But anyway, I guess I'll come useful down the line if I want to change it. That's kind of that's too inside baseball for me right now. I just had a regular Rio. I had the texture on myself. And the cool thing is I made a prefab of them, so I don't have to retexture them every time I put them in a different game. Basically, you just attach the model to object, empty object, and name it, say, Agent Hazuki. And then you take that object that you just attached his skin to and put it in a folder in your assets. See down here in assets, everywhere there's a lot. This is a Scarlet Witch, so I mean Scarlet Witch is pretty fab, okay? So I don't have to remodel her because I had to texture map her too, manually. So now I don't ever have to do it again. Anyway, I'm playing it. See, Rio, he goes in his idle mode, right? You know, wasn't gonna run around. His animations work. He's just randomly doing shit. Cause like when he first started, he was like, I could tell you went into idle. But as I moved around, he started doing like little shuffling moves. I just gave him a whole bunch of skin. Well, what the hell happened here? I just gave him a whole bunch of I gave him a whole bunch of commands and I mean not a whole bunch of commands, a whole bunch of animations, but I didn't assign any logic to him yet. So if he's doing anything, he's just doing it randomly. Like King's running around in his combat stance. I didn't want everybody to run exactly the same, so I gave everybody different run animations where necessary. Some of the animations are corny, so I didn't use. See, I made, and the point of this is I made Wolf's, his character controller, I made it much smaller and made it fit him better. See, now he's not jumping off the ground every second, so it's an improvement. So I just make a note of that. I can make it every time you make the center, you want the center of his character controls will be 0.9 for this size character, and he runs way better, and he doesn't run off the map as much as he used to. Before he used to keep his character controller was too big, so he ended up like running off the map. He's acting weird. Now he's not running off the map like he was before, because his character controller is basically a capsule that's around him. It's smaller now. It fits his body more, so now he's not running off the map like he used to be. So this is a big improvement. See, we're making progress here, all right? Naturally, he can do everything he's supposed to do. He can jump. He can throw Eileen's, and he made throw Eileen's better now. His animation may actually work. Also, you know what I have to do? I make some entry and out and transition, entry and exit, transitions for his animation, because like right now he may start to throw Eileen's, but then he stops doing it for some dumb reason. And right now I don't know what happened. If he may have just jumped off the goddamn map because the camera just went crazy. And that's where we are. And this damn fucking it keeps jumping. The window keeps jumping out. I have the fucking thing set. That's why I like using that character controller. You know, our PlayStation controller instead of using a keyboard. When you use a keyboard for moving, all kinds of bullshit happens. Fucking Unity gets confused, and it's mistaking my input commands for Wolf to be commands for. And they see he's in his rifle mode. See, made him go with that rifle walking animation. That's Rio on the right side. So he doesn't run so fast. Because sometimes I set the character to run so fast. He runs so fast. He runs past the enemy. He's supposed to fight. So I put some logic in here. So when he gets close to the enemy, he just stops running and goes into like the rifle walk stance. So it's like his combat stance. So he doesn't, and also he walks more slower. So he won't run past the target. Okay, I think I fixed the problem with Wolf. With his the way he's walking is kind of bad. His traversal is a little off. It's kind of wonky. I'm just restoring him to the way I had him before. So anyway, his character controller, I noticed his character controller was a little too big, and it was like, it was not centered on him. It was like too low below him. Also, maybe a little too big. You know, I made it wider to fit the character, but it's not necessary for it to be that big. If I fine tune it, I'll probably fine tune his movement too. Because if you notice, the default size for character controller is more like a capsule. I have it like a spear. It shouldn't be a spear. So I'm going to narrow it up some. So hopefully that'll fix his movement. I already made it shorter so it fits his head and toe. So it fits his body. Before it was sticking out like 5 feet below his feet, which is pretty bad. And the result looked pretty bad because at the time it looked like he was floating off the ground. So we'll see how it works out now. And I'm going to play it now and see how it runs. See that button on the top? It's play. Hit play. See how he moves now. minute to run. You can maximize it so it looks, you can see it better. Why is he running off without the camera? That shouldn't be. I know I didn't give he's acting weird. It looked like he was tipping over a second. But yeah, the camera's supposed to be following him, actually. This is not what's supposed to be happening. That's the one thing. Oh, this is an older build. This isn't, yeah, I think there's you know what, this is an older build when he used to run off as an individual. Right now, Rio's doing something. He's doing a combat stance and walking around. He's in rifle stance, yeah. I can see his walk animation. He's doing a rifle walk animation. All right, I'm gonna switch to another build. Well, he's moving, but I can't really see where he's at. I can bring him into view because I have like, I guess 60% control of Wolf. I gotta, when you make changes, sometimes the changes don't stick because I'm not really logged into Unity right now. So sometimes when I make changes, they don't stick, you know? They don't get permanent until I close the program and open it up, you know, hours later. That's why sometimes the animations don't kick in or the assets don't show up. If I make a script and put in the assets, when I'm looking for it under scripts, you can't find it. If that happens, you have to either A, reload or wait, or close the program and open it up again, and then hopefully those changes will be permanent and they'll set into the system. Because right now, anyway, I'm having trouble getting to move. I've had to move the keyboard buttons because I don't have my controller hooked up right now. This is an old build. At least the only thing that's working right here is the camera is working. So the camera isn't jerking around and jumping to Eileen's projectile point of view when you throw in Eileen. That's the only good thing I can say about this build. But everything else needs a little work. So I'm gonna switch. I have to close this. Even though the changes I made just now to the character controller, they should work. All I have to do is change the center point to 0.9. What annoys me though is that I just brought Ri Hazuki's model into this build, but this scene is the wrong scene. This is the latest scene they could find, but this isn't the latest scene I have. I'm pretty sure, because obviously not, because he would be walking. I mean, the camera will be following him, and it isn't. That's right off the bat, I know something's wrong. This is not my current build. All right, signing off. But either way, the character controller fix is necessary. Okay, this is big. Armor King actually fired on Wolf finally. I know because this is his projectile. His projectile attack is shooting arrows at Wolf, and so obviously that's an arrow on your screen, right? Because basically there's a bug in Unity where any object, right, has a camera attached to it. Any complicated object that you made in Blender and you bring it into Unity, and when you import it, it comes with a camera, and that camera, it overrides the main camera for Unity, basically. The game camera, it overrides it, and that's what's happening right here. Armor King, he fired an arrow at Wolf, and the camera from that arrow that I forgot to deactivate, it hijacked the game camera. And that's what you're seeing here. So this is cool. So at least that confirms that the AI put in for Wolf actually works. It's so big, I thought they changed scenes actually, because this next scene looks like an island. You saw that transition there with that big thing on the screen? That means he fired another arrow. Because that big white thing on the screen, it looks like an island, right? And the next stage is a collection of islands. So that's what I thought what happened. I thought if Safina dies, it loads the next stage. And the next stage is islands, but that's not what happened. What actually happened is Armor King fired an arrow at Wolf. So all I have to do now is turn off the camera on the arrow, and then the game will work functionally like it's supposed to. Anyway, this is progress though, so it's good. It's good because it shows the AI is actually working. And it's called the physics check spear. It's basically the AI character checks the perimeter around them, and he checks the perimeter around them to know if your player's there, and when the player gets in that area, that perimeter, he attacks. So that's what just happened here. That's what you're seeing on the screen. All right, this is big.